What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to another video, man. We have another Cormani McClain update, man. So if y'all have been living under a rock or just not really in tune to what's going on, you guys know that Cormani McClain basically just went on a visit with the Florida Gators, and yeah, we about to just go and see what this update is about. We can more than likely see him end up going to Florida. Not too sure though, nothing is set in stone. Original link to this video will be in the description down below. Y'all comment down below, how do y'all think Cormani McClain will play out in the SEC, man? Especially with not really everything not working out in the Pac-12. It'll be interesting to really see, but let's go and see what Matt Be Great has to say. Shout out to him for sure on this video. Let's go and jump right into it though.
Now I ain't gonna hold you. When I first saw this, I was like, wait, what?
Facts.
No way. Couldn't believe it. You want to treat this like a business, Cormani? Okay, business 101. You gotta have a leverage to even try to make these deals. Till Cormani proved to me that he wants to be a football player and work hard like everybody else and not some rich, famous public figure, because I think that's what he really wants to be, not giving him a dime.
Oh my gosh. He had to say it like that though.
Hey, if not, hope this video can make it a little bit better. By the way, shout out to all the moms out there. Happy Mother's Day. Can't thank you enough for
Happy belated Mother's Day to all the mothers
video,
out there too,
we got
for sure.
An update on guess who? No other than Mr. Cormani McClain. Wait a minute. Hold on. What is this comment on one of the recent videos?
Matt Be Milky, that's crazy.
They need more of this. Normal comment, right? Hashtag Matt Be Milky. What?
Nah, he tried him.
No, my brother. We are not starting up these weird hashtags again. You know what? I'm gonna act like I didn't see that. Let's get back on track here. I think it goes without being said, the McClain situation is easily the most intriguing and fascinating thing going on in all college football. Today we got an update on him and what's been going on and whatnot, and the last time we talked about Cormani, it was over 8 days ago. If you didn't see that video, I'll give you a brief run through, and if you did see it, let me give you a quick
I really can't stand that video that he made too, bro.
What happened with Dion in Colorado, we've already talked about that plenty. You should know by now he entered the portal. With that being said, what we talked about in the last video is how McClain, he signed with an agent. Signing to an agent was head-scratching to me back then. It's still head-scratching now. I believe the exact analogy I used is it's the equivalent to getting a financial advisor when you have $8 in your bank account. I shouldn't have to explain it. It's relatively simple. If you have $8, you don't need a financial advisor. Same thing here. Number one, you're not even on a team. Number two, I don't see some big-time NIL deals coming your way in the future. It's not that I'm hating on the guy, it's just facts. I can't express to you guys enough
Who knows, though, maybe
it is for Cormani to sign to an agent. Anyways, getting a move on here, we also talked about how an article stated that Cormani McClain was being recruited by Georgia, Oklahoma, Texas, LSU, USC, and Oregon. I mean this in the most respectful way possible. Georgia, LSU, and Texas recruiting or quote-unquote having interest in Cormani McClain, it's laughable. I guess anybody can come out with reports like this. I even called one of my sources up that is with the Georgia football team, and he told me he had no knowledge of Georgia going after Cormani, not even to the slightest of bits. That right there is where we last left off with Cormani, and let's check out what some of you guys are saying in the comment section. We'll read off some of the top
Kirby
comments.
Smart never
really
wanted him. Let's be honest.
Got to say about these situations, and I like seeing the different perspectives and insights. Corey stated, shout out to Corey, he is the way he is because his mom has probably never held him accountable.
Yep. That's true though, bro.
For those of you who don't know, there is this narrative that has been going around that Cormani's mom, she's sort of, she's like a yes man. In her eyes, Cormani can do no wrong, but let's be honest here. For most moms, that's how it is. Jeff Anderson stated,
that is true.
He thought Dion was tough about classes. He's never met Kirby, and you're dang right. Dwayne Smith said, don't y'all know we live in a world where you hold kids accountable, you're labeled as a villain, and yep, 100% correct.
Yep.
I want to touch on that too. Me talking the way I do about Cormani and me holding him to his high standard, that's not me, being a hater or whatever you want to call it. That's me trying to push him for greatness. That's what I do with my friends. That's what I do with my brothers. Everybody.
I don't know about all of that completely, man.
I can't speak for you. I can only speak for myself. I want to see Cormani succeed. I want to see him go out here and be a big-time baller. I want to see him live up to all that hype and all that expectations he had when he was coming out of high school. I do. And despite what some people think about Deion Sanders, I think he did as well, and I think Dion tried to push him to be his greatest Travis.
That is true, bro.
As I've gotten older, though, and I've slightly matured a little bit and experienced more life, one thing I've come to find out is you can't want it for somebody else. They gotta want it for themselves. We'll talk more about that later in this video. Let's go with two more comments. Looks like this comment's from MZ Sunny. Hope I'm saying your username correctly. Travis listened and let Coach Prime develop him. He is now even better than ever, well-respected and getting the bag, and he is still a dog. One out stated, don't matter where you're hiding, coaches know you are on the practice field. Last comment, this is coming from BW97. Cormani has a better chance going to FCS school. limited to none NIL deals. Cormani screwed up a good opportunity at CU. Cormani should have fully committed to the Buffs. Clearly, he doesn't like standards because Coach Brown lives by the standard he set for his player. Look to the history of coaching. Dismiss a 5-star at JSU, kick players out of gym and meeting rooms who violate standards. If Cormani wants to exceed in life, he needs to realize very quickly that he has to reform his behavior and comply with the school rules and standards.
Bro, and we literally seen, like, on camera in 4K how he acts and how he goes about running his program, bro. He said he wants to play for a real program. As if Colorado wasn't a real program to begin with, bro. He held his players accountable, made sure everybody had to go to class. They ran, you know what I'm saying? I don't really know, bro. That's why I say I cannot stand that video that he made, and as you can see, it's starting to backfire on him. But we starting to get a little bit of light with him going on a visit to Florida, which is ironic because you got Billy Napier at the head coach position.
I couldn't say any better myself. That is a great comment. Thank you for that. Goes back to what I was just talking about. The only person who can stop Cormani McClain, ironically enough, is Cormani McClain. Don't get me hyped up on that. Don't get me hyped up. Continuing along, though, take a look at this.
Guys, if you're looking...
Man, I want to go ahead and see what else updates that there is, bro.
Yesterday, that Cormani will be visiting Florida in the near future.
By this time, he already visited, too.
When I first saw this, I was like, wait, what? No way. Couldn't believe it. My immediate reaction to this was, number one, it doesn't make any sense, and number two, I don't understand why they think this would work out. Look, I know Florida has been in a very rough state. That football program hasn't exactly been at the level of Alabama and Georgia these past couple of years, but they're still Florida. Florida football fans have a very high standard, way higher than Colorado, and they do expect to get back to those days where they're winning consistently 10, 11 games per season. Is that realistic? Not with Billy Napier, and especially not with the schedule they got in this up-and-coming season. I think best case scenario in this up-and-coming year, they might win 8 games, maybe. But, not a really big but, you better believe this, it still doesn't take away from the fact that it's Florida, an SEC school, and a prestigious one at that. I was thinking McClain would be extremely fortunate if a school like USF or UCF, a lower tier team in the state of Florida, would go after him. But man, oh man, this right here, I didn't see it coming. I want y'all to try to look at this and analyze it from a coaching perspective. That's how I'm looking at it. You got a guy who somewhat has a huge ego, a lot of pride about him, and an entitlement attitude, and he couldn't even get on the field at Colorado. Why in the world, if I'm a head coach in the SEC and I'm dang near on the hot seat, bring in, I'm not going to label him as a diva, but bring in a guy who's got some red flags and question marks.
To be fair, there was a guy that was at Georgia by the name of Brandon Cox. He lives around where his hometown or whatever is around, you know what I'm saying, where I stay at, basically. He went to Georgia, got in trouble at Georgia like a good maybe 3 or 4 times or whatever before it ended up getting kicked out. Where, you know, Brandon Cox had to enter the transfer portal, and long and behold, guess where he ended up? The Florida Gators. So, you know, maybe they enjoy or trying to, you know what I'm saying, develop guys again, or who knows, bro.
I'm just going to come out and say it. There's no way to sugarcoat this. He's not SEC material, and if this does happen, he's going to get eaten alive. The SEC will eat Cormani McClain's lunch like it's nothing, and you better believe me on that one. This young man, wishing him best of luck, extremely talented. He ain't ready for the SEC. He ain't even close.
Yeah.
He was getting fried on crossing routes from Colorado State and Pac-12 things. What do you think is going to happen in the SEC, buddy?
Facts.
Look at these comments. Somebody said, nah, we good. What in the world is this comment? People just talk to talk. People are really wishing bad on this kid and trying to treat him like a scrub. He just needs time and better people around him. I've yet to see somebody wish bad, quote unquote, on Cormani McClain. What are you talking about? I just see people calling it how it is. He's hiding in the bathroom at practice. He's not showing up to meetings. If he is showing up to the meeting, he's late. As a matter of fact, how about we do this? Let me ask you a question. So are you telling me we should be praising Cormani for what he's done this past year or so? Like one of the comments read off. Nowadays, if I, Matt B. Great, or you hold Cormani or anybody else to a standard of any sort of amount, oh, we're the villains, right? God forbid holding somebody accountable in 2024, especially a 5-star recruit.
When you don't man up, bro, you get clowned. That's how it goes in this world.
Future, but according to Adam Rittenberg, he visited Florida on Friday, a couple days ago. Here's what he said word for word. Source: former Colorado cornerback Cormani McClain visited Florida on Friday, along with his mother and his agent, Hector. I'll get to that in just a second. They spent the day touring the facility and talking to the coaching staff. McClain is a Lakeland, Florida native and was ESPN's number 14 recruit in 2023. Matt, don't scream and don't go on a rant and tangent. It's Mother's Day. Just don't do it. Number one, I'm going back to this.
You
don't need your agent. I don't know why he's involved in this recruiting process, even to the slightest. And number two,
like this the NFL.
I'm not mad at his mother going to Florida with him. It's just, it seems like everything people have said about her, it's true. She babies him, and Cormani's number one in her eyes. He can't do any wrong. I don't
see nothing wrong with her going with him, though. I will say that.
Situation too much. Y'all can talk about it in the comment section. It's the agent thing I can't get over. What is the point of him going there? It's not like his agent can go to Florida and Billy Napier and say, hey, Cormani's this highly sought after recruit. We need $1.5 million for him to come in. You can't do it. Why can't you do it, you may ask? Great question, my friend. I'd love to answer it. Supply and demand. There's no demand for Cormani. You want to treat this like a business, Cormani? Okay, business 101. You got to have a leverage to even try to make these deals. That's what you got an agent for, right? To make
what is he? Yeah, what did he get an agent for?
You don't have any leverage. It goes back to this. It's the equivalent to having a financial advisor with $8 in your pocket.
This is the third time he said that.
The leverage that McClain has, it's about slim to none. Maybe if you wouldn't have thrown Dion under the bus, he might have vouched for you to Billy Napier and say, oh, yeah, well, Cormani, he's a good kid. He's worth about $50,000, $60,000, but now that's off the table.
Facts.
Me personally, I want to give this guy a penny to come to my school. Not a penny. Until Cormani proved to me that he wants to be a football player and work hard like everybody else and not some rich, famous public figure, because I think that's what he really wants to be, not giving him a dime. I don't think the kid loves football. I don't think he loves the process. I don't think he loves the grind. He loves what all
He probably loves football. He just don't love the process, though.
Difference. Here's the thing. If you don't love the process, you don't love the grind, eventually, it varies for different people, but eventually, somewhere along the road, it's going to get exposed. Time tells. I've seen players fall out of the love with the game as a junior, senior in high school. I've seen it happen as a junior, senior in college, and I've seen it happen in the NBA, NFL. I think a good example here is Johnny Manziel. It was clear and evident he fell out of love with the game in the later stages of his career at A&M and early on in the NFL with the Browns. Or my apologies, I said fell out of love with the game. Not the game itself, but the process, the grind of the game. All that stuff is very important. You can't just show up on Saturday or Sunday, buckle up the chin strap and say, oh, yeah, I'm ready to go, boss man. It doesn't work like that. Going back to this, though, if somehow, some way he does end up at Florida, I think it'd be a terrible move from Florida's part. Let's say, though, since we're talking about it, theoretically speaking, he does end up at Florida. Well, what's it going to look like? What's the chances of him playing in this upcoming year? As where it stands right now, I'd have to say I'd be pretty shocked if he even saw the field. If I was in his shoes, here's what I would do, and I've been saying this. Don't go to a big-time school like, I guess you could say, Florida or anything like that. No. Go to a lower D1 school like UCF or USF. Go out there, ball out, then into the portal again.
You need to go to UCF. I ain't gonna lie.
Because I don't think he's talented enough to play for Florida. That's a misconception. I want each and every single one of you watching this video to understand, I think he's easily one of the most talented players in all the nation. He has all the talent in the world, and it's what makes his situation so sad and so intriguing. He hasn't put it to use. However, like I was saying, the reason I say he shouldn't go to Florida is because I don't believe he's going to work hard enough if he isn't guaranteed to
somebody else going to take his spot.
And I don't think he is a hard worker. If you think you're just going to rely on talent and be a successful Power 5, or I guess I shall say now a Power 4 college football player, you've lost your mind. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. There's many more things I could say. I'll keep you guys updated on this saga. Let me know your thoughts.
Man, it will be very crazy to see this man go from Colorado to Florida. After that, the whole incident, the whole situation that ended up playing out at Colorado, yeah, with coach, like the best DB coach to even play the game, bro, as your coach, he's saying he want to go play for a real program. Maybe he'll man up going to Florida, bro. Who knows, man? All I know is you won't get as many chances as you did as Colorado. That's for sure. Y'all let me know in the comment section down below what do y'all think about Cormani McClain taking that visit to Florida. And how do you think that will really play out for him? You know what I'm saying? It'll be interesting to see, to say the least. But it's your boy Caprice the Great. Original link to this video will be in the description down below. Let's get this video to 5 likes. And go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers by the end of this month. It's your boy Caprice the Great, though, and I'm out. No cap.